update some photos. Some of y'all's hair has changed. Some of y'all's hair is home. So we'll probably want to use those photos. But we also want to be able to get...
Jim, anyone involved in any attorneys?
Yeah, we're gonna find out stuff.
Thursday. Tuesday Overwatch, Wednesday Valorant, Thursday. We will get most of those matches done before break, and then we'll start to look pretty, but that's not what I'm here for. Start to look pretty, but that's not what I'm here for. Valorant Hawaii Invitational, 2023-24. It's Valorant. Are able to host this year because they've been going only with Valorant.
We'll burn that bridge every time we come.
Don't worry.
Not travel room assignments. We'll talk about this later. It's fine. Those are room assignments for practice, basically. I didn't have the full Overwatch class schedules because not everyone did them.
But you will tonight.
If they're using that, we'll consider it. But for now, this is scheduled for practice. After school, start time is kind of up to you guys, but we put it on like that. And then you're going to be like,
what does it mean when there's like nothing for rock league sounds under station right now?
those are technically days off. I'm assuming they'll be days that your fight better Sunday, so we can fight better Monday through Wednesday based on some calendars. You prefer to do like Thursday or Friday, then we can change the days. But we're just trying to make sure that I have some. Yep. So looking back at all those, you guys can kind of break down your doc, we'll fix whatever schedule you have there.
Yep. So Gil, to your point, Saturday, Sunday, Rocket League is the team room, our varsity room.
Yeah, varsity room, so you can see the left has several games for the state champion, and you can see your logo, game logo, or your legit drop logo. Alright, cool. And then CFJC is now eliminated from that bad copy.
Why?
So you're
So awesome.
Okay. So I have no idea what Dr. Running means, but it's Valorant, so this is one of you.
No, it's a student. But not there, year one.
AKA Pete. Anyway,
I was going to say, weaknesses, Pete does not sound like hesitant to take proactive control of certain macros. That is not Pete.
Yeah. So basically the idea is one thing that we are looking to do more this semester is a lot more individualized feedback. Obviously we want all to collaborate with us on those in terms of things like what you think good at, and what we think good at, what we think we work on, what you think we work on, and then go back and forth. We'll come up with kind of creative ways to measure those things and make sure that you're moving along those lines. So some of you that might be, I really feel like that will be playing outside of practice, or some of you that might be
But the work that Coach did with Evil Geniuses, we've been talking about quite a bit, like when we would launch it. We weren't organized at the beginning of the year to really put together individual development plans, but let's look at it this way. We want to get as good as we can with the time that we have together. We're limited by 20 hours a week. We're limited by the length of the semester. You saw the schedule. There aren't that many weeks to improve. So we just asked them to focus about what we need to change and what we're already doing well that we just need to do more of. We need to be able to look at everybody in the group, you as an individual, and say, these are the things we bring to assets so I have and try to improve. And here are the areas where we need to support. A week for threat is not something what's terrible about it. It could easily be high cognitive look clear. It's harder to clear call out pull because it's all cool down. We need to then make sure somebody else is following. We're going to be successful. We have to continue to improve everybody. This will give us something. This is a short semester. This will give us something to actually identify what we're trying to improve. And it's not just about get good or else. This is like we want to help. And if on Jenny, I'll pick on Carter. I don't ever pick on Carter. Carter is always safe from the right? No. But say we identify something that Carter really wants to move on. We think that really helps us. We may not have the ability to help you do that or anybody else on the squad. We can't find somebody who's going to come in and coach you individually to help you with this one thing, right? This improvement plan with developmental rules and things like that allows us to make sure that we, as coaches, are doing everything we can to make you as good a player as you can for your team. If we focus with that mindset that we talked about in the beginning, like we're all here to get better. We're here to get better. We're here to make sure that you get better. Good things happen. We may not win all championships and everything on the first try, but we're a lot closer if we identify what we need to do to accomplish those things. Sometimes in the past we have just kind of went, that's just what happens there. Right? That's what Joey. I'll pick on Joey. Joey's not in the right. Joey. If we had an improvement plan for Joey, maybe some of his just gut check switches would have been communicated differently. We aren't losing fights because we didn't know how to play around the change that we made. He goes from made a widow and you're like, what? We're going to draw all in, we're missing the DPS player, doesn't work. So this helps us to make sure that we're supporting you and your team in a meaningful way. This is only part of what we're planning on doing. We are also going to start doing grading of our matches to identify the things that we do well and the things that we need to improve on. We're going to grade fight round by round, game by game, and continue to play that game with all of it. Here's the thing we got to improve. We're going to play some teams that we're going to beat. We're going to grade those games. Some teams we're going to beat easy. We can't be worse in games against weaker teams than we are against the top teams. Right? So every bit of what we're trying to do is to maximize this tiny little window that we have with this group. Those of you who've been around a while, you know, change. This isn't the same group. This is a special group of people. It's a small amount of time together to do something special. And we don't want to waste it. We also have to be super careful with the amount of time that we ask you to do these additional things. But some of you may be asked to, okay, so here's the rubric. Score game 2 for us. Where you kind of work out how to do it. Some of what we discover will be, well, I don't know that makes sense to score that way. Right? Good. That's conversations you can have to try to improve the way we look at it and sort of and ourselves. So part of our improvement plan brought from the pros here is really a way of looking at how we can improve ourselves and get as much out of talent that we bring that we can get. We want to make fantastic. Missing tonight were two people that we know we're going to be Juliana, driver back, and Matt Mermer. Right. Matt Mermer is going to limited participation because he can only participate in those tournaments and leagues that do not require in person. We will have to line out for at least 2, possibly 3 games total in the facility to qualify for some of those lists. Like WW, CC, not worried about that. You can take it as just in there because Fisher, right? No, I mean there's space management that requires that. But we do. As you all know, Matt he's been a resident student for a long time. Family circumstances require that he be with his family right now. We're treating this as a temporary thing until we get Matt back. So for all of you who are like, well, actually, I can go stay with my cousin in Hawaii, still draw scholarship. Well, hold on. That's not what we're talking about. So I'm really excited about this because I love it when we have the next thing we can do. I'll point out Peyton, Coach Wayton. Many of you know Coach. As a three-head coaching machine, you may see us in different situations. There may be a time when Wayton is hanging out with Val or supporting our fighting. Is Des still in here or did Des take off?
He went to
You guys we did it for a minute. Yeah. You guys know the other Peyton? Peyton Tuma? Des is a world champion Madden player. He won the Madden Bowl last year, a couple of different ones. He's getting ready to compete in the Madden Bowl January 21st in Florida, coming up here. He's a Boise State student. I recruited that ever-loving snot out of him when he was in high school and introduced him to Oklahoma. He went to Oklahoma. It wasn't the best fit. He's here. So, I'm excited for you to meet and get to spend a little time with Des. He's pretty awesome. I mean, slightly better than some of you. But we'll have a watch party. We'll have a watch party in here when he's going for another championship. Excited to have Des here. When he's listen. I'm not unplugging anybody's machine right again. Right, Ryder? No. That was my screw. All right. Give him the update.
Okay. So we've had some pretty exciting stuff happen over the last couple of months. We have some more exciting stuff coming up. Some of you saw already. Everybody West is doing some good with us. Shout out to Jenny for doing some really good organizing today. This is the very beginning of phase 1. Is what that is right now. There's going to be a lot of kind of visual upgrades to it as well. Long term, there's even more to come with that, but you're going to see a lot more food and just different kind of products in there. At some point here shortly, there's going to be a survey that goes around to you guys just to kind of list, hey, did you like some of the stuff that we got? Did you not? We have a big focus on getting dairy and whatnot kind of squared away. So as Dairy West is our sponsor that did the station. So you're going to see a lot of those kind of things coming from us. We're going to be keeping that updated. That's kind of been my baby over the last
So help them understand why we're in a 2-phase.
Yeah, so the long-term goal of that is going to be a 3-bay sink in there that allows us to get a food license.
Well, you know you're excited about a 3-bay sink.
What that allows us to do is do non-shelf stable things, right? Shakes and smoothies and those kind of things. Maybe a little bit more of like the health plan type things. But that takes a long time, right? Working, there's a process to get that done. We have to put a floor drain in, which means architecture and engineering is involved, and there's just a queue for those things. So.
Oh, and let me. So people are like, oh, okay, yeah, food to be able to do food. Y'all, imagine 2 nights a week, the esports chef coming in to make. We need that to get the food license to get the So the phase 2, which is sponsored by Dairy West, we're just waiting on stuff.
Phase 2 is gonna be like, it's going to be insane.
Look.
It's going to be the real deal.
And I'll say, Clear has become accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Well,
the bougie food.
well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. It's going to be fantastic. And so while we're in the process of getting to that, you're going to see a new mural go up on that wall. It's been up twice and came down twice. So we found the right solution for that. You're going to see a nice rug in there. The cabinets are going to be, completely reskinned. Again, the big thing is there's just going to be more food and more organization of food, and it's just going to feel more like, truly a kitchen. So we're really excited about that. That's something we've been working on really hard to get this thing ready to go for our open house on February 5th, and to provide you guys with high quality options. There's, like microwavable pho, there's mac and cheese, there's, some like actual meal type things, but then there's also like a lot of snacks, and just a lot of that kind of good stuff.
And I'll
some
add
really
one
good milk
small
in there,
thing.
too.
Some of y'all don't even know this. There's a pot in there, electric pot that you put water in. You click on. It creates boiling water you can pour in your noodles.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you can have.
It is witchcraft.
Yeah, you can have all sorts of good stuff in there. So we just want it to be a place that is a little bit more approachable for you all, and a place that, like, if you're coming in here and you're grinding, like, it's organized, it's easy, it's grab and go. You can just kind of keep going.
It's probably not your favorite food. You're probably not going to replace meals here. That's not what we expect, but we need to keep you topped off and happy and hungry. I'll add one more thing, that the ideally we're using the shaker cups that we have. We have some more that we're going to get out to you.
Yep.
For water and things like that. We do know that we're going to get our, heaven forbid, our water fountain in the hallway to get an actual spout added to it, so you can filtered water out there as well. But when you're done with whatever mug, your cup you're using, you just put it in the dishwasher. We run that dishwasher. So
Yeah, cool update. The sink and the dishwasher work now, which is fantastic news. The sink doesn't bring up, it's not backed up anymore, which is exciting. The garbage disposal is gone though, so don't try and turn it on. That got taken out. So we're gonna have some really nice stainless steel mugs that Jerry West has given us, and we've been trying to figure out the right way to distribute them. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have them in the room. Essentially, you'll use them while you're here. They're to stay here. You'll just throw them in the dishwasher when you're done, and then when it gets full, whoever that person is, there's some pods underneath the sink. Just throw it in there and start it, kind of like.
if your protein shaker cup at home is getting pretty nasty, starting to grow legs, we definitely have some older G Fuel ones that we just send you with.
Yeah, we have. So there's resources. So any questions? Anything that we should be considering? Yeah.
Don't forget that you can open the cabinets and drawers because there's food in there.
True. There's food in the cabinets and drawers. Would love it if you didn't take the new floating island in there into the varsity room because you need a place to eat while you watch your team. That would be great if it stays in the kitchen.
That's valid.
I shouldn't even put it in your head. Yeah.
Is there chocolate milk?
Huh?
Is there chocolate
There
milk?
is normal and protein chocolate milk.
I'll take it.
So, and it's shelf stable. Like, it's in the fridge, but it doesn't have to be, which is kind of insane. Never seen that before, but Costco is doing magics on their food.
For Riley, have a little applause for the absolute butt kicking work to get you this stuff. You can guarantee I have been sending video to Dan Clark, to some of the other directors, showing off this space and getting F-words in return. So
it's nice because we can
yeah,
do
it's
this
good.
because we all
That's,
are.
to me, that's a high level thing. There's a big push now by Voice to rate the level of programs, S tier, A tier, B tier, right? And one of the really important things is the way we support the health of our players. That's one of the full metrics and categories to which we score an S on because of the work that Riley and Veronica do to make sure that, and Jenny, to make sure that you're set up and have stuff you need. So I know that no one's got it quite like we do. Certainly not in the previous space. So
We're pretty lucky. We base this on, we spend a lot of time looking at athletics filling stations that they have and are trying to emulate that. So
athletics, by the way, is signed. We're in motion.
Cool.
And
Yep.
if any of you guys want to ever join me on one of my Costco adventures, because you might pick something that I wouldn't.
Veronica and I had so much
There's
fun.
some
at Costco.
perimeters that has to be individually packaged, self-stable, right? But Jenny came with us to Traders and got some really cool stuff for the holiday party. So if you guys
Yeah.
ever want, we can coordinate a time when we're running low and we can go and you can put stuff in the cart.
Whose idea were the mozzarella, little mozzarella balls?
That
Love
Veronica
that.
found those, yeah.
How about the flagship, the Beechers? Oh, sorry,
that's
all the
Beechers.
Beechers is gone. Don't even worry about
If
it.
it was a good idea, just assume
All right.
it was Veronica.
Wow.
I think the only one that I'm really proud of is the Jack Links, the meat and cheese sticks that you just unwrap together. Those are so good for like
Yeah, they are.
quick.
I heard you. No one likes the fruit cups. We won't be buying those again.
Cool.
But if there is something that you know that we should probably get, shoot a Discord or an email message to Veronica. I mean, don't shout it across the road. But next time we go shop, we'll see if we can get some of that.
I think we're gonna make an effort to make sure the cereal. 'Cause I heard that Valerie really enjoyed cereal. Is that true?
I ate a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Emiliano did too.
Okay. Sick. Well, we'll have good cereal. So keep doing that.
Thank you, Riley.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thanks, guys.
All the things.
Fine. You had some things.
Okay, so welcome. I'm so excited to see all of you. It's January. It's flu season. I don't want you to get sick. We have a lot of really exciting travel. I know Coach Kate talked about it. But about Lysol disinfecting wipes, if you wouldn't mind wiping your station down, or kind of like, you go to the gym, you're done working out, you wipe stuff down, because I don't want you getting sick. And then we can't travel, and then we're having to coordinate, and then we're trying to find subs. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'll put them around, just clean up. If you get sick, or if you're not feeling well, communicate it to us. There's like whooping cough on the rise. Not our demographic, but our space is open to the public. And when we have events, so we do have a couple of big events kind of happening. So our student staff will be doing a little bit more than we've done in the past, which is cleaning the facility. So you guys will see that. I have thank you cards over here. So once we, Dawson's going to take some photos. You guys will do some insert interviews. If you wouldn't mind signing, there's like 10 or 15 of them. And I have my little bucket with all the different colors. If you want to pick a color and then just sign them. We're just going to have generic thank you everyone signs, so that when Gary West, thank you, here's a letter, or a card we can just sign, since we have them all here today. Do you guys have any questions that I could answer, like back-end administrative, anything that's kind of my wheelhouse while I'm here? No? Okay. I think that was it.
Yeah.
If anything else pops
I
in.
want to mention volunteering.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys. We're gonna volunteer.
Let me.
Hey, hold on.
I was gonna say, let me put in the note here, right? Which is athletics. All the athletic teams have a culture of doing some volunteering throughout the year. That's the family we're joining. We want to make sure that we come in with at least a little experience doing it, so we can develop a culture of it. It's not a ton, but it is meaningful, and the community will support you when you support them.
And we want to do a whole social media campaign, and then you guys like, look at this kitten, or this puppy you're walking, or the food day, or so we have a couple of different things in the works. If there's an organization that you're very passionate about, like you want to cook, we can go to the Ronald McDonald House. You want to, so I'm going to coordinate a couple, and then we're going to pick a time. So there's that piece of service, and giving back to our community. And then some great photos and social media, and kind of working with just sharing out who we are and what we're about. So.
One one of the things that we have talked about doing before that we'll revisit now, since we're making an effort, is that kids who are in the hospital used to be able to receive visits from football players, basketball players, their Boise State fans. We can't do that anymore because of the concern about Cade messing stuff up. No, but we can jump on a Discord call and game with them while they're there. We're going to look for some windows to do that. So you may be asked, hey, do you want to play some Smash with a kid who's in the hospital up there? You want to play some Mario Kart with the kids up there? And put you on there. And just let them forget about their cancer for a little bit. It'll be awesome.
So we will coordinate that. Just wanted to plant the seed and let you guys know. The other thing too is we are going to start having some more event rentals. So people in the community renting out our space. When we do that, I've already kind of coordinated with Coach K and the team and everyone else. We're going to try to the most that we can not impact our schedule, but there might be a few times where we're like, sorry, can we practice over here? Or we're having this big corporate event, and it might be there is booze and alcohol, and this
Yes.
no.
Oh my.
People that have rented the space have a bar, and so it might be, hey, Valley in the studio. We don't know how old everyone is. I could look, but per
Peter's
person.
30.
So if there is an event, I'm just going to say it so I don't have problems. The food and the alcohol and the drinks that customers are paying for, kind of expensive for university catering, is not for us. So, sorry. A lot of times they're supporting us, and the revenue we get from these events helps us underwrite trips, helps us pay for jerseys, and some of the things that we're able to provide for you. So no, you're going to start seeing those sprinkled a little bit more in. We have a corporate mixer where we're going to bring in like Simplot, Nikon, a lot of VPs. And so once again, another way to get a lot of those corporate sponsors in to see what we do. So I don't have to, I'm going to say it. Let's just be on our best behavior. No F-bombs when people walk by, right? Because when we ask them for money to support you, we want them to like this, right? So basically, when I'm like, hey, so-and-so, have a conversation with this person, know that there's probably an ask or a reason. Like, that's how Riley's able to get the Dairy Best thing. It turns into food and money and things for you guys, right? So there might be a few asks for a select few of you to just kind of engage and talk to the community members of those events. So alcohol,
Sometimes they might also want to watch if there's a match. There are many of them that will be during Thursdays. So
yeah.
it'll be a Smash thing. So.
And I've already had 5 requests in the last week for community groups to come and watch. So those are on our event calendar. Do they have access to that calendar? Or okay.
I can put them on the calendar.
Okay. So there will be times that we know there will be 25 kids from Melba or so-and-so. Like I think there was kids soccer team that came in the spring or in the fall. So you'll start seeing that kind of ramp up again too. So please watch the vocabulary when we have guests for this. We've been doing some new social media campaigns. So we're working on that. So you'll see a bit more highlights on the academic integration side of that. So excited to work together, and if you need anything, just send me a message on Discord.
And also, there will be instances where we ask you to interact with social media. So try to quote tweet it, actually make a comment on it. We don't want you to do that with every single post because that would be crazy. But there will be certain posts that will be specific.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge trend of a lot more student-led engagement. So there will be communication that's just like, these are our hours.
Gill, Waiton, Preston, Woozy, Clear, Carter, Jones, not more, Jenny, entire seated Valorant squad. You'll get many reminders, but January 29th is the ring ceremony, which will take place at Extra Mile Arena. We will do, in the green room, we'll actually do a ceremony. You can invite friends, loved ones, romantic, you could bring a Tinder date. I don't know how it works. But we're going to start collecting that info, respond quick. It is something that your family can attend, that they can come with. We'll organize that as we're getting closer. I mean, we're 2 weeks away. If anyone else wants to come, those are the folks who will be receiving the ring that they won last year. We've seen them. They're in. They're awesome. Honestly, I didn't think Valorant was going to be my favorite. Right now, it's my favorite. So good. Yes. We don't know yet.
So also, you guys,
Sorry, important info. Pause for important introduction information.
we are also, we're getting a link. So we're also going to be acknowledged at the halftime show. So that's why we're doing an extra mile, because we'll be acknowledged. So I'm waiting for the link to send out to get the tickets.
They usually do that.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're waiting for. But we'll meet at entrance 2. And so Coach K will stand there and say, come on in this way. And so we'll escort you to the green room, because it's kind of like, well, where is this? It's like a private room in that space. And then I'll email you the link once we have it for you guys to share. So it's before the game. It's going to be 20 minutes. And then we'll go sit, watch, and then the people that are receiving rings will be acknowledged, as well as the graduates who we've also invited.
Yeah.
Is there a specific color we want them to wear? Or
We'll identify that as we get just a little bit closer. Yeah. I did genuinely over the break when I saw Notre Dame's football uniforms with the actual shiny gold applique. I'm like, if we could get that sublimated on our jerseys, for extra bling. We're efforting some pretty cool and stylish solutions. Coach Gay and Veronica will tell you, one of my obsessions has been the red carpet that we're going to see at CECC. We have to qualify to get there, but we want to do something special that no one's done there. We want to raise the expectation of what it means to show up to a big event like that. Not just one jersey and jeans, and I think we're way beyond 3 jerseys, full kit, and so sweet matching shoes. By the way, a massive thank you for, even if you didn't get it, even if you still don't get it, doing it, because the number of comments is surprising. Good, amazing comments, where people single that element out.
Old people at the airport were all over me.
Those are my people.
visually and from the stands, they look great.
Yep. But also, athletics took note and like, oh, well, those aren't Nikes. We're gonna have to fix that.
They're like,
Which is what we want, right? So, if you are, by the way, and this is an important one, if you are missing clothing elements that you feel like you should have, but you are missing, you need to communicate that to Coach K or I, and we'll make sure that it gets organized as part of the order. We are also looking for people to add to our student staff that you might want to have around. So I'll ask you this question, you can bring it to us. Is there somebody who, maybe they're not as interested in production, but would love to be a manager of a team? Help prepare the things that team needs to be successful. It doesn't have to be full tech oriented. We need to find out who those people are. We want to include them in what we do. What you got?
Is it true that we discontinued our white jerseys?
So the white jerseys are in the vault, but they will tell you that I started ideating on a full Stormtrooper look white jersey, white pants.
I
I
like
know. I'm,
Not yet.
but so it's not gone. It's not discontinued. It's just in the vault this year, so that when it comes back, it'll replace another color. Huh?
It's like the Vic Rid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. You get it.
Easiest guy to come back.
On that note, we're also tabling the rest of, tomorrow, in the library on the first floor. So if there's anyone that is interested in learning about esports, or
You know, a teacher.
the College of Innovation and Design, so a lot of the certificates. So there's, if you want hot chocolate and cookies, swing by from 12 to 2. And then we are also trying to increase our student staff. So as I mentioned, we have a lot more events happening. So if there's anyone that might be interested in more event support, some of the comms and marketing pieces. So now's the time where we do our kind of second big push of hiring student staff. So just think about that if you know of anyone that kind of wants to be in our sphere. And then the other thing is on Thursday we're having a Bronco Winter Welcome. So we're going to be playing
League of Legends.
and we're doing what? Matt, what? There was something we put on social. Okay, yeah. So we're playing League. I thought there was something. But we're also just inviting anyone in the community. So a lot of times people want to know what we're doing, and so we've done a lot that's on campus groups. We've sent it out to fraternities, sororities, campus connections. So if you ever just want to like bring people in, that's a great time to just say, hey, let's go play League. Or whatever else you want to play in the space.
Yep.
Pinball, if Jacob's here, or college football 25, or anything that you guys are doing.
So let me hand it off this way. League of Legends, we're going to stand up a team to compete in the Mountain West in the first time in 4 years. Both CVAL and CLOL have a Mountain West conference piece built in, and that's an automatic bid to the playoffs. If we win that conference, that's an automatic ticket to CECC. That's the choice we want. Overwatch is going to be a separate organized piece. It has not been determined what day of the week it'll be. We'll coordinate that. The PEC games are exactly like the ones that, but if you know anybody who is even a little bit sweaty in League of Legends, we want to meet them, because a lot of them have just kind of looked in and said, oh, well, that's not, you guys aren't doing that. They don't know that Coach Gay is here. They don't know that we're renewing interest in this great game. And there are not a ton of players coming from high school to college. So we want to talk to anybody, that's here on campus that might have a love for that game.
So if you guys wouldn't mind, like, sharing it on your social media, or
Please,
sharing
that's one
it
to
to
share.
people that you know, I think it posted today, we could really use your voice to kind of amplify that if you know anyone in that.
And you get all the shade. I thought Doc hated that. I thought Doc killed that. No, that's not how it worked. Cloud behind me killed it.
No, it's actually Immortals.
Oh, it's more?
I can give you the full.
Okay. All right, thank you.
There's more. Too much more.
So much more. Okay.
Is there anything else on the slide?
No.
Did we tell them about Vegas and how we're getting there?
Oh, we didn't talk about how we're doing that.
Should we tell them?
We can tell them.
Team
You guys ready? Let's make it a playlist.
What?
Marvel Rivals!
See, there was something on there. Oh, that was
Yeah, we are not going over this
Oh,
again.
no. Oh, all right. All right, I got what we're doing then.
Yeah, so we need to R2 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're driving. Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
we're-
we're
So we're renting.
So no P?
312 passenger bed.
Oh, thank goodness I'm not going.
We're getting cozy.
We're gonna do 50
There's 8.
I'm not be so funny. That'd be so much fun, though. Yellow school bus to Vegas? The short bus?
Let's talk about this real quick. Okay. On two levels. Above the Line, which has become the series that we've been putting forward, has been getting a ton of praise. It's going to be reformatted for 8 22-minute episodes for television. It'll be syndicated. Well, it's syndicated. It'll be produced and available on regional television at a specific time in 22-minute package formats.
Can I still bring my Lego minifigures?
Yes.
Because I know they're copyright material. Is that too big?
Here's what's nice about it is that Riley will be able to sell some of the advertising on that, and that's going to build new things. There are 2 remaining episodes from the fall semester that are being finished right now. All of the voiceover is in, and Brett's putting them together as we speak. We will probably do a handful of additional episodes in the spring leading up to the big finish CECC. We'll definitely be going to the Hawaiian Invitational, telling that part of the stories. There are some other things that we want to tell along the way, but it won't be a weekly release every time because there's some stories we told in the spring we don't need to tell again, right? So those will be re-edited. Some of the voiceover managed so that we can reformat it for 22 minutes. Some of you may be asked to come in and tell a little bit of your story to insert as if it was happening at the time. Jonathan, we didn't get a lot of your voice, but obviously when we were just spamming photos of you in the hospital, just to get your take.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, you don't have to talk about that. How about you talk about Stockholm?
Sure, man.
All right, there we go. We want to hear about that. And so there'll be some of these pieces we kind of stretch out a little bit. But when we finish this, you're going to have something that builds that lore for your family and children for generations, which I'm super proud of. Also, it has been amazing to see. We just got back from the Collegiate Esports Awards, where we got snubbed. No, not really. But unbelievable the number of people that came up to me. We haven't talked about this, but just talked about how meaningful it is to be able to get view into what you do. So it reminds them that, oh, okay, I guess we are doing the right things. Or, yeah, oh, these frustrations that we're feeling are the same frustrations they feel. And it's really helpful. You're doing special work and you didn't even know. So I'm excited for that. And at the end, it's gonna be a nice story for the season. We're gonna hit some marks that we are really happy that we hit. We're probably gonna fall short of a couple things too, and that'll be a part of it. But that's all part of the journey, and that's okay. So we're gonna get the best we can. We're gonna be the best we can. We're gonna work as hard as we can. We're gonna have as much fun as we can, and it'll be part of that. But as it relates to our practice here, I think it's good to remind ourselves that things feel good tonight, right? They feel like everything's going well. But we are going to have to 100% check our responses throughout the season. Some of you will get added pressure from the coaches to do certain things certain ways. And it may not be the natural instinct to go, okay, I'm not going to respond now, I'm going to think about that and interpret it, come back the way I want. You're going to have the opportunity to fix mindsets or pause. Some of you will be asked to do things or play in ways you haven't before. There's probably a Strider DPS somewhere in this mix, depending on what's happening, right? The ability to bounce back and forth between multiple things, right? Amanda's role still developing. We bring in talented people. It may not be the role that they've played their whole life, but there will be times where Amanda is in the starting lineup against these teams in this scenario, no matter what, right? And we're gonna dial in what that looks like. Guaranteed, I'm gonna have to adjust my mindset, adjust and adapt. Every time Will starts making Valorant call-outs in the middle of an Overwatch match. So, inshallah.
Happened before.
I'm gonna have to build skill to try to figure out which game he's talking about.
You remember it?
We're gonna refresh ourselves on these things, and what I hope you recognize is that in the lack of a lot of things, and I mean, Preston, I won't get in too deep, but the idea that not everything is in our control, right? We think that it is, but it isn't. We have to use these techniques to continue to stay better, right? To continue to have something we can accomplish from the terrible hand we're dealt. And I know all about terrible hands. I gave away $40 that night.
To me.
Yes, to Jenny. Mostly to Jenny. But we always can control the way we respond. And that's what will define us this remaining half of the season. It'll define us as we finish our degrees, and some of you are on that track. It'll define us as we move on to other stages of our lives. It is a constant commitment to do these things again for everybody. But you'll hear a lot of it. And I don't mind if we meme it. I don't mind if there's stickers or emotes in the server and we're making fun of me when we do it. That's fine. Because when we need these things, I've recognized it at a ton of times. He's not here to defend himself, but I can easily, I no longer can count the number of times that I've recognized Emiliano didn't like what I was telling him. Just pause and not respond right away, not argue. And he's a better person for making that decision. He can reapproach a problem or a concern at a different angle. We're always in a spot where we can have success. I'll quote our amazing football coach, right? You know what I'm talking about? Coach Danielson, who says without remorse that God has an amazing plan for you. Now, whatever you believe, I believe that's true. I believe that you are amazing people and you are going to do amazing things, and that is part of it. Doesn't mean that you're going to be without struggles. But an amazing plan nonetheless. And the fact that we are all here in this moment. There's a time where you're all going to be gathered at my funeral. It's true. Gil couldn't get out of it. Hey,
I'm at a wedding.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. That this group of people is together at a special time that you don't yet realize how special it is. And I'm excited that, that we brought this group in and we get to do these cool things with you. These are our adventures. Gil will work that day. Somebody record for him. He'll watch it on his VR. I'm guessing. I don't know how it's going to work in the future.
Oh, we'll make it.
Or maybe even better, maybe we can find a way to download my personality into your Amazon Echo, and I'm the one telling you what the weather is and saying. I can't help with that.
If I'm pissed at home and I hear you need to pause.
Yes.
The garbage. I mean,
Okay.
It's like
Let's start working on
snowy
that.
days.
We got to give me in their personal assistant.
What we're wearing.
All right.
Dust and
R6
adapt.
by memorizing all of these.
Yeah.
I still don't have them memorized.
In fairness, it takes me a moment to assemble them if I walk through. I get tangled up with 4, 5, 6.
What is the artist?
Response.
Oh yeah, you haven't had the.
Yeah, that's how you respond. Don't worry. I'll send you a relatively short 12-hour video.
Another thing that we want to make an effort to communicate, so we're talking about your health, right, with the food and the fueling station. You have amazing support with your playing, right? We also want you to know that there's a lot of resources available for you as students. I realize that I haven't spent as much time with all of you, but this is my 14th year at Boise State. I have spent time working with our international students, working in our advising office, been in classes, sometimes there's a professor that you're like, this isn't working. There's learning assistance. There's the Bronco Learning Cons. There's a lot of resources. I didn't want to stand up here and tell you all of them because you're just like, I don't need that yet, right? But there is, mental health resources. There's like, you can go get a massage. There's a lot of different things that are available to you. And so I just wanted to offer that so that you guys know, communicate early, right? And often so we can help and support you. Hey, this doesn't feel right, or did I misunderstand this, or is there a resource for this? Because if you're feeling it, I'm sure a lot of other people have as well. So know that we are here for your winning championships and rings, but I'm most proud when you walk across the stage and you graduate. And when I give tours, I say, last year we had our first cohort that we fully scholarship that graduated, right? And that's one of the things that sets us apart from a lot of other programs is you're interested in changing your major, you can't get a hold of an academic advisor, hey, I want this internship, right? We do that a lot with our student staff, and so we want to be able to do that with you. So just know that we're here for you in that capacity as well.
Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Jim's going to take Rocket League first. There's 3 seats in there. I think you can set it up and do it however you want. The other option that we do have is you can try to seat everybody and we'll use the wireless handheld.
Yeah, that would probably be nice.
Okay, let's do that. I'll come in there and help with that.
Dawson's doing photos.
Dawson is doing photos. We need more dynamic photos of some of y'all yelling, posing, doing that stuff. We'll start folks in here doing that. Let's start with Overwatch doing that in here. Val, if you want to go into the background and just make sure that you can log into Marvel Rivals. You're like, I don't have an account for that. We do. So start figuring out how to do it. I'm sure you'll be way better at it than everybody else. Don't worry about it. Same thing with our fighting games group, and then we'll rotate a little bit. Sound good?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Boise State Esports Studio. Tonight, we're doing a sit-down during our varsity kickoff day with all of our varsity players across our games, Rocket League, Overwatch, and Valorant, to get an insight on what is coming up in the spring 2024 season. Right now, I'm sitting down with the Rocket League squad that includes Gabriel Reynolds, Cade Hall, Grant Kupel, and Preston Ferrante joining us just to get a little bit of an insight on what's going on for Rocket League. So first off, thank you for joining us. I wanted to start out by doing a little bit of a recap of what happened last year, because we had a lot of very big milestones happen last year. We have 5 years running now on being the Mountain West Rocket League champion, something that plays a huge importance in what qualifies for CECC later on, the Commissioner's Cup, by winning that tournament. I just wanted to get your thoughts on how do you think you've managed to stay so dominant in the Mountain West in particular, especially you, Woozy, you getting nominated as the Mountain West player, possibly the player of the year. Just getting your thoughts on what it's been like competing in the Mountain West specifically.
I mean, I've enjoyed playing in the Mountain West Conference for the last 2 years. Obviously, I feel like it's been really good for my development. I was gonna pawn it over to Gil here because he's practically the Tom Brady of the Mountain West Conference. He's been winning longer than I have, and I can only speak to that as part of my success. Obviously, having him next to me, being able to almost mentor me in a lot of my aspects of not only just the game but also as a person.
Yeah, I guess I'll speak on that then. I think the Mountain West, what's made our success so, I don't want to say guaranteed, but expected, I guess. Year to year is just a turnover of talent. Obviously, these two are the newest players. Grant also, our sub, we picked up last semester. And then, going back to my day,
way back when.
People like Cosmo, who won my first year, and Instinct, and all Danger, and all these different people that we've had over the years that have contributed to wins. And I guarantee there'll be more in the future.
Well, one of the things that's changed since, the start of this winning streak, because this winning streak going on 5 years started in 2020. And ever since then, as more and more new talent has been brought in, the program has expanded, we've been seeing our competitive range as Boise State as a whole expand to other, even more prestigious venues, such as CECC, and CRL, which we're going to get into, but I wanted to touch on specifically the journey we had last year, because I don't know if there could have been any closer of a match in the CEC finals against the one you had against Ball State. What do you think are some major lessons that have been learned from that, and how are you applying that going into this new semester?
Preston, you got it.
That was probably one of our biggest losses that we had over the last year. Obviously, we went up, I think it was 3-1 in that series, and kind of blew a lead, which we definitely shouldn't have blown. But it was a good learning lesson. That was one of the toughest losses we took, obviously, so we had to learn how to bounce back. And honestly, I think we bounced back pretty well. We didn't let it affect us that much.
Yeah, obviously that's showing right now.
Yeah.
But I just want to delve deeper into, because here's the main thing. Here's the main thing is that we know already from winning the Mountain West championship that you had just in this last semester that winning the Mountain West is one of the journeys returning to CECC, the Commissioner's Cup. So the main question I'm getting at is, what do you think you have this year? If there's any main takeaway lesson that you think makes your team stronger going into it this year.
Okay. So one thing that's really good about that tournament, unfortunately, obviously, we got as close as we possibly could have without actually winning. The Mountain West has done a really good job. Like Gil said, the Mountain West has taught us how to win, but then that tournament, this Commissioner's Cup, taught us how to lose. How to take a hard loss like that really is difficult for, the first time. And us losing that allows us to come back even hungry, and knowing what that loss feels like makes winning just that much better.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the onboarding process. I know, I think you and Gil touched on it just a little bit earlier about Grant coming on to the team as a sub. Grant, tell us specifically what that journey has been like for you and how you see yourself as a part of this team going forward in the coming years.
I see myself as maybe becoming maybe an important player to the team, especially with Gil leaving next year, since this is his senior year at Boise State. I definitely want to be a part of the team. I want to help out, so I want to be able to develop over the years and maybe become more of a stronger player of the team.
All right, and what has been kind of the main thing that you've been going over? Like, what has been, if there's a win condition, because obviously, first year, the start of a long journey in collegiate. What has been the win condition for this first year that you would see personally for yourself?
Would you say the win condition?
Mm-hmm. Your main goal that you've been working on. When you started this year, you said, this is what I want to accomplish.
Okay. One of the main things I need to do is just play better as a team. That's something I really haven't done as much because I've played more solo, developing by myself back at home. But now I have to grow like a stronger community, make connections with the guys, and that'll help me be able to have kind of like a better chemistry with the team, which will allow me to fit in better, be able to develop, and then maybe make more of an impact on the team to help us go further.
Now, the season has already started for you in a way, even before this, because CRL, the first week has wrapped up. And, I wanted to talk to you on your thoughts about how that first week went. I understand right now, it's too early to tell, who's going to be in that top half and lower half. And how do you think things overall went? Are there any things that you think you can improve? Or are there any tea leaves that we can already read for how this semester is going to go that you think was brought to your attention in the CRL competition week 1?
I mean, like you said, it's a little too early to tell. The first event happened before the semester had even started. There's a lot of time between now and April when the national championship is being held. I think it was a solid foundation. Obviously, 9th through 12th wasn't the optimal result, but I'm happy with the development we had even just mid-tournament. How we looked when we started versus how we looked when we finished were two completely different teams, and I'm very proud of that, and I know that because of that, we will be able to continue to grow. And that's something that is very, very important if we want to continue to compete even remotely near the top.
Yeah, you certainly aren't joking with how close it is after just 1 week of competition. I'm looking at the standings. There are like 6 teams tied with 3 points, then another 6 with 2 points. So we just have to wait and see how this turns out as the weeks go on. But overall, did you already get, is there anyone that you've seen from this first week of competition, or maybe that you didn't get to face in CRL that is kind of looming in the horizon as like a match you're looking forward to?
All the European teams. All the European players. Europe is taking over CRL. It's inevitable. I think getting to play against those players, those imports that have come over, and they further push us to be better. It just increases the level of competition. I look forward to playing those high-level matches.
All right. Well, finally, I just want to leave you, just get you out on this. We're gonna take a trip to Crazy Gems car lot right now, his used car lot, where I will give you if I can make one car in Rocket League in real life for you to drive. And this isn't talking about how good it is in the game, its mechanics. We are talking pure surface level style over substance. If you could have one car in Rocket League in real life to drive for $1, what would you have?
$1?
Yeah, it's Crazy Gems car lot. I'm going crazy here.
All right, insurance rates aside, give me the Proteus. Give me the arms.
What else?
Oh man.
Okay, that's
There-
Gil.
there it is.
Preston, what would you want if you could drive one?
They should have a Urus DLC.
They did just have a Urus DLC.
I'll take a Lamborghini Urus. Yeah.
Grant.
I got no clue. I'd have to go maybe with the Dominus.
Oh, I was gonna say the Dominus. I was gonna say the Dominus. I feel like the Dominus is like a low rider almost. Like that'd be sick.
The Batmobile.
I want the Batmobile actually.
That's
He can have the Dominus. I'll take the Batmobile.
Wait, which Batmobile though?
2016.
That's a good safe bet. I mean, you're just going to look cool driving the Batmobile in general. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for sitting down. We wish you the best of luck going forward. A lot of exciting events coming up for Rocket League. So thanks for sitting down with us.
Of course. Thank you.
And we'll see you next time with another varsity interview. Thanks for joining us for the Rocket League team. Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Studio. We are continuing on our series of varsity interviews and going into the spring 2025 season. I'm currently here with Prestige, Skies, and Skelesis joining us all here to talk about what's happened in the later, what happened last year and what they're looking forward to this year, what tournaments we can look forward to, what the team's goals are going forward. We got a lot to get into, although I do have to ask the mandatory question about the new agent that everyone's talking about. You, in fact, before the cameras went on, were saying that you're probably just going to have to address this, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off right now. Tejo, thoughts?
You know, I think he's pretty good, but I definitely think he needs some supporting agents to really work with them. Deadlock, Fade, Breach, there's some good options there, and I think he could work well on some maps.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting looking at his kit overall, you know, Initiator without a flash too. It definitely seems like working well with some other agents, you know, it could be. Do you see him personally? Do you think your team works well, you know, maybe, you know, are you showing interest in possibly using him for this next season, or are you going to wait a little bit for things to break in?
I personally think he's really strong, and Griffin's been doing some work on him, so I'm hoping to put him in right away with some flash support as well.
All right. Now that we've covered that mandatory topic, let's get on to your season more in particular, because one of the things that I know this team has really been itching for is going up against, you know, some real high-level competition, you know, steel sharpening steel, so to speak. And I know there have been a bunch of events, especially in this past semester that you've attended. One of them at the beginning of the fall semester, you went to Funhaver Invitational. Tell us just a little bit about your team's journey, you know, wanting to improve as a team, and how going up against, you know, some top level teams, you know, struggles, benefits of that. Just give us just your general story on how things went last semester.
I'd say at the beginning of the semester, we didn't quite know the direction we wanted to go into going forward, but as we started with competitions and stuff, teams like MSU, Kansas, and PEC surprised us with the level of competition that we had to go up against, and so with that, we knew that we had to put our heads down, get to work, get in the server, rep stuff over and over and over again. The Funhaver Invitational, super fun. It's good team building experience, and it helps us realize the mistakes that we need to fix going forward. And PEC is one of those competitions that we want to succeed at a high level at, and we're excited to get into this season going forward in this semester.
I mean, what do you think your general chances are in the PEC? Because overall, how the Mountain West and PEC turns out does have a huge bearing on, you know, if the team qualifies for the CECC Commissioner's Cup. You know, everything is tied together for the chance to be back in Arlington. I know a good number of you got to compete on the stage in Arlington too during the group stage, and that's always a fun experience you want to have again. So, looking forward at the PEC, what do you think your chances are? Who should we be looking out for in terms of matchups?
I mean, I'd like to say our chances are good. But nothing's ever guaranteed. We have to, like I mentioned before, put our heads down, get to work, and know that nothing is guaranteed. So we have to make sure that every single day we put in the work that we want to see out of our results in the future. And there are a couple teams, like I mentioned before, Kansas and MSU have been some fierce competition, and we're looking forward to play everybody. But we know that we need to prepare extra hard for those teams because they put up a good fight last time we played.
Yeah, MSU is across all the games. I just have to say MSU has been like that team. They had that win against our Rocket League squad. They have one of the best Smash teams out there as well. I mean, they're a formidable foe to go up against. But the one thing that I wanted to ask that I think you're going to be looking very forward to coming up this next semester is I hear there's a trip to Hawaii in the works as well. Tell us each a little bit about how that's going to work and what each of you individually are looking most forward to about that.
Yeah, so I know we're all super excited to go there. It's going to be my first time there, and I'm pretty sure a couple of ours too. The competition there looks good. I think we have a great chance to really make a run in that tournament, and I'm just excited to be in that environment and kind of experience what Hawaii has to bring.
Yeah, for sure. I think back in high school I missed out on a trip to Hawaii, which really sucks. But so being able to go now and just just compete and experience all the things Hawaii has to offer. It's going to be really fun.
Now, Prestige, for those who might not know, tell us a little bit, obviously your thoughts on Hawaii and what you're looking forward to, but tell us a little bit for those who might not know about what's happening specifically in Hawaii, all the event and everything surrounding it.
From what I know, we will be traveling to Hawaii to play in the Hawaii Invitational, the Valor Invitational, and I know a lot of good teams are going to be there. Hawaii, MSU, and a bunch of other great teams. I know that while we're there, we're going to be doing a bunch of content as well for the viewers out there, and getting a real glimpse at what it's like to play in an environment like that. I also missed out on a trip back in 2020, actually, to go to Hawaii, and so I'm really excited. This came as a surprise, I'm sure, to all of us, and so I'm really excited to experience what Hawaii has to offer.
Is it a mandatory part of the tournament that Breeze has to be the most played map? I'm just saying thematically.
Oh, please no. Please. I want to play Breeze.
One of those things of like, it's thematically great, but oh, it's just such a pain. All right. So, I want to get you out on this final thought. Actually, the final thought is just a little bit of a quiz, because we want to know, or we would like to think that we know what we're talking about here when we talk about Valorant at all, but sometimes even the most basic stuff can sometimes elude us. So at the threat of everyone's reputation, don't worry, it's online, everyone's watching. It's bound to get worse. I'm going to show you an icon. I'm going to be therapist. I'm going to show you like an icon, and you tell me what you see. But specifically, I want you to name the agent, the ability name, and the agent who it belongs to, okay? Oh, no. All right, so you go first. Prestige, here you are.
That is a Phoenix Molly, but the Molly itself.
The name.
Oh, the name of the Molly. Oh goodness, I'm just gonna go with I'm just gonna say lava, but I know it's not.
You still have your mind on Hawaii. We're just gonna throw out lava. Yeah. Do any of you have the guess, or are you?
No, I have no idea.
Hot hands. Oh. Hot hands. Okay, so that was your question. That was a miss. So now we'll move on. We'll see if we can have any. Oh, I think you're getting the easier one here, to be perfectly honest. So at least you should get this.
Oh, that's Hunter's Fury. That's over.
Yeah, you got it. All right then. Skelesis, what does this say to you here?
That is an Omen blind. I think it's Paranoia.
There you go. You got it. Okay. So we're down 1 point each here, down 1. But you know what? I'm going to make this final one worth 2 points. So okay. you still have the chance. Okay. Prestige, here's your chance to come on back. What do you think?
Sage. It's Sage Revive, Sage Resurrect.
No. I gave you every chance you had to maybe come on back, and you dropped it. No, that's Not Dead Yet by Phoenix.
Oh my God! Wait, that's Phoenix?
Yeah. So maybe you need to brush up on your Phoenix. Is the main takeaway.
So long. Oh my goodness.
That's the main takeaway. Okay. For you, Skies.
That's the Omen TP.
Name. And it's his question, so he gets asked first.
It's something step, I feel like, right? It's something step. I'm gonna say. Fuck, you know it too. You know it. I do. Give me a hint. Can I get a hint?
Oh, hold on. I didn't get a hint.
Or go step.
Oh, nope. But you can now.
Can I make a 1 point guess?
Yeah.
Shadow Step.
Yeah, you did. You got it. It's Shadow Step. All right. Or Run It Back, excuse me, is for Phoenix. See, maybe you all need to play Phoenix again. Not Dead Yet is close. It's Phoenix. Run It Back is just good. Okay. Final one. This is your chance now to take it all, okay? You're still tied at 1, but if you get this, you'll have 3 points, and you'll win absolutely nothing from this except bragging rights, except you knew basic abilities in the game, so smarter than a 5th grader stuff. Here you go.
That's Sage Wall.
What is it called, man?
That's called Sage Wall.
It is not called Sage Wall. What is it?
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, it's really tough, it's right there in front of you, but, there's just a barrier between you and the correct answer.
Is it a barrier? Is it some barrier?
It's barrier and something.
Oh, no. And?
What?
I got no.
Okay, I'll give you one hint. What does Sage toss out? Like the animation.
Barrier orb.
Yeah, you got it. Barrier orb. All right. So I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you the completely inconsequential bonus point there for getting the correct final answer. So I wish you the best in the coming semester, although if this has taught me anything, I have some concerns. So maybe we got to get back to the drawing board. But thank you so much for stopping by with us. And truly, we do wish you the best for the coming semester. We look forward to seeing your matches.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll be back with the Overwatch squad after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Studio. I'm here with the Overwatch squad to wrap up tonight's varsity interview night. I am joined by Diamond Dog, Hex, Strider, and Clear, all to talk about where the team has been and what they're looking forward to over the coming semester. Let's first start where we have been because, we've seen continuing success in the Mountain West, obviously, still champions there, which is great, looking forward to events like CECC in Arlington. But also, speaking about CECC, there still are, tough runs that the team is facing. I'm thinking mainly about your match against Washington, which you fell in CECC. What do you think were some of the main lessons from some of the events you had over the last semester, and how you've been applying that to improving this?
Ken, would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. I think one of the main lessons we learned is to just keep on adapting on the stage. I think we had a really successful couple of weeks of scrims going into the CECC West. And we had a lot of good scrims against teams, but we gave them a bit too much time to adapt to our play style, and we didn't end up adapting on the stage, and I think that's why we fell behind.
And has there been any, other talking about improving in adaptation? What have you been doing personally? How did winter break look? What have you been doing to, grow over the break? Come back all prepared, ready to make a real run for it in spring.
Could you repeat that question for me?
What have you been doing over break to grow as a team, grow as an individual player? Are there any main lessons that you think you've learned over the break that you'll apply here in this next semester?
So, as a team, we've been sort of taking it easy. Haven't been practicing too much as a team over the break. But personally, I've been putting in a multitude of hours into just my game overall. I hit champion, the highest rank in the game. I'm really leveling up. Scrimming with other teams, exploring where I could go in the game, outside of Boise State.
All right. Now, we don't have too much concrete information, of course, since the team hasn't played any actual games in the season on where they're going this season. So we can do the only thing that we can and speculate wildly. Getting to that first little bit of speculation, one of the biggest questions is, last year we had the introduction of an all-new competitive mode, Clash, being brought in. Because it was so new, we didn't really see it in any of the seasons being brought in. Now things are changing. I was talking with Doc. I'm being told how PEC is going to run is largely going to be based on how the modes in ABC is going to run, and already we've kind of got the 5 modes set up before us, or what it's looking like the 5 modes are going to be in this lineup. So tell me what you think of this order: Control, Push, Clash, Flashpoint, and Hybrid as the 5th. Really changing things up here, because obviously Hybrid, which 95% of the time is King's Row, could actually be at the very end of a match. So what is that overall thing? What are your main impressions on how Clash might be implemented, on how it's going to affect each match?
Yeah, personally, I would like Hybrid to be a bit earlier. I don't want to see it all the way pushed back,
I like the new order. It's a bunch of Mickey Mouse maps in a row, so that means that we'll do better. We thrive off the Mickey Mouse.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, everything is mirrored here up until that. Yeah, we do have to really wait until Flashpoint. But I mean, I have to think that it introduces. Do you think it introduces a little bit more potential for variety in it? Because at least during the last semester, as I could tell from the broadcasting perspective, the only thing that we really had up in the air was what was the preset control map going to be. Because then once we went into Hybrid and Flashpoint, we were like, come on, 2 Flashpoint, we know what Hybrid's going to be. Do you think this new order, of Push and Clash being introduced, what sort of maps do you think that brings to the forefront? Or do you think we see a wider variety of maps as a possible, more variety in how each match plays out as a result?
I think that order is really brawl composition favored, so I think you're going to be seeing a lot more brawl from teams, maybe a little less variety. I know that Escort and Hybrid are usually the maps where the compositions would be more dive focused. So again, I think it's a good thing for us. We kind of thrive off of the chaos. So looking forward to that.
Now, talking a little bit more about Clash as an individual stage, you know, one of the main things that has been brought out about Clash is that they're taking a bunch of the themes from the old Assault maps and kind of reimagining them. Already, we kind of saw the Clash replacements for Anubis and Hanamura, but there are still 3 former Assault maps that we haven't seen their Clash counterpart yet, that being Volskaya, Horizon Lunar Colony, and Paris. So overall, is there any one that you're looking more forward to out of the others that you want to see brought back, revitalized in Clash?
Personally, Horizon, it was probably my favorite out of those 3. I feel like the more logical step from a design point, they'd probably want to push out Volskaya first. But I like Horizon because there's monkeys on there. I love monkeys. I love apes. So if we get more lore of any possible ape heroes from Overwatch, I'd love to see Horizon come back.
Volskaya was the best 2CP map, and it's not close. It's not close. Bring that back.
Give us Paris too. I'm a big fan of Paris. Controversial take. I'm a big fan of Paris.
I like this. I like this. Yeah.
This guy never played Paris above
Each person who spoke up there had to up the ante even more. You know, I mean, we got the first thing of, you know, this is my personal stage. I like, I like Horizon Lucane, the lore, the monkey characters, and then, you know, of course, Strider has to come on and up the ante a little bit, saying, no, this is the best stage. No one wants. And then at the top, it's saying, okay, listen. Paris, okay? It's like he just had to throw down the ultimate.
Please give me an orangutan, and it does the pointing orangutan thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, give me that emote, please.
Well, Claire, it appears we have a little bit of a stalemate on the other couch. I'm going to have to ask your opinion as for a tiebreaker.
Volskaya is the best.
All right, we got that going. Looking forward here.
I got a quick question. Hex, what rank were you when Paris came out?
When it came out or when it was retired?
When it came out.
I don't even know when it came out, so probably like 3.6. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm thinking diamond. We should check the career profile later. Check it out.
That is the most casual flex. Yeah.
Production, pull it up.
Yeah, the most casual flex. Yeah. Production, definitely has the dirt on each individual player that we can see.
Screen?
Yeah, each production, they're officially just putting their hands up in the air. I gotta. Yeah. That's a pretty safe bet. But overall, okay. I mentioned a little bit. I'll get you out on this final note. Just kind of one thing from each of you, talking about other teams that you might face going on, what we're facing in the PEC. Obviously, you got Mountain West competition. I mentioned in CEC West you faced Washington. What team are you most looking forward to fight?
Winthrop. I will beat you, Winthrop. I will take you all down. I don't care what your roster is. I don't care what my roster is. I'm beating you guys. And it will be 3-0 as well.
I want to beat Ohio State just because my aunt is the #1 Ohio State hater. She has never watched like one of our Twitch streams until like the Ohio game. She's like, you guys have got to beat Ohio because I hate them.
I like to play USCSD. I had a few friends there from back in the day. Like the Shomu's boss, No Flame.
And Strider, we bring it all back to you.
I want to beat Winthrop because Infected is a bum.
All right, there we go.
Boston, fine, you're going down.
I don't know. I don't know what has transpired today to where the interviews that we had with the Valorant players were much more humble than the ones that we had with the Overwatch players.
I mean, you have 3 freshmen here. So.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and yeah. I mean, there's a double side to that. Obviously, new to the program, still trying to get your feet under you, but a lot of exciting possibilities looking forward in the coming years, and those exciting possibilities ready to be played out in this spring season 2025. So you're not going to want to miss it. But thank you to all of you for sitting down and giving us your interesting, very diplomatic thoughts.
Thank you for having us, Bronco Nation. We're looking forward to the semester.